So I came out really because I wanted to find like-minded people, and I wanted to find ways to mobilize, to kind of shake us out of a complacency and a kind of collective languor that we've fallen into. So I came out to kind of connect with other people and hear ideas about what we can do to fix this problem.
I hope that the oil and gas industry is left free to produce so that our families and our future generations have something for their lives.
I come out tonight to this event because I'm concerned about Alberta, and I'm concerned about Albertans.
I believe each one of us has a right to our own life and our own property and our own happiness.
Is the truth going to get out of what we need to deal with respect to the NDP government here, and what is going to happen to oil and gas here in Alberta? And I think Ezra Levant is working towards, building up what is the truth about oil and gas here in Alberta. I'm looking for a voice that is not looking for political votes, a voice that is addressing the issues.
It's great to see a full house. Thank you very much for coming. It's amazing to me. What an event we had in this province just a month or so ago. And how to interpret it, I think, is very important. It's not just something for pundits to think about. I think we all have to understand what happened on May 5th. Because a lot of people want to read things into it for their own purposes. A lot of people want to say Alberta today is not the Alberta of the past. Alberta has de-Albertified itself. It no longer believes in freedom and entrepreneurship and industry and prosperity. The old Alberta that the rest of the country loved to hate, even as they took transfer payments. The rest of the country would love to think that Alberta has swallowed itself whole. Would love to think that the election was not just a rejection of a 43-year-old party, tired, corrupt, and out of touch, but was a rejection of every Alberta value along with it. NDP voters were as likely as everyone else to say it was more about change. This is important to keep in mind, because there are many people who would say this is a mandate to attack oil and gas. This is a mandate to raise taxes. This is a mandate to do all the NDP pet projects that were rejected year after year, decade after decade. Proof that Albertans want an NDP government. Well, actually, no, and most NDP voters themselves didn't vote for that reason. It's a problem that there's not a lot of experience in this government. Yes, that's true. But that is not what is causing the problem in Alberta. That is not the danger. Whether or not someone is mature or not, experienced or not, that is an issue that you will always have in every party, especially when a new crop of MLAs comes in en masse. I am not so worried about childishness. What I am more worried about is dangerous ideas that are thoughtfully held, not thoughtless ideas. If you go to any cultural event in Alberta, any museum, any theater, any festival, who sponsors it? Every oil company. Every engineering company based on oil. I have yet to see an event sponsored by Greenpeace. Greenpeace isn't about putting money into a community. Greenpeace is about taking money out of a community.
No new approvals. No new approvals. No new approvals. No new approvals.
No new approvals. He's leading a chant. No new approvals. What does that mean? Approval of what? He said no new approval to they say tar sands a lot, don't they? No new approval, so approvals of what? Of construction and exploration and production and export and jobs and tax revenues. No new approvals. I've told you about the nothing backbenchers. They're not nothing though, they have a vote and they will be pressured. They are more radical than the center. But the center is radical itself. I've shown you that. No new approvals. Extremist ideas, taking cars out of cities. Foreign ideas, and by foreign I mean people who have no connection to Alberta, no love for Alberta, no understanding of Alberta, and no intention to do so. Do you think someone who has so forcefully and bluntly and categorically said no new approvals suddenly supports approvals? Do you think he does? Look at that word big oil. It's malignant. Anyone associated with big oil is sketchy. Does that mean that big oil companies shouldn't talk to the minister now? Because that's big oil having an inside track. What does it mean when the man who makes decisions and who ought to deal with oil companies says in advance to the oil company he despises them, he denormalizes them, he calls them a name? I mean, that would be like the agriculture minister saying big wheat. Who would be the minister of something they hate? I think the better question is, who would choose him to be the minister of oil's chief of staff? I happen to believe that whatever flaws there are in the oil patch and the oil sands and fracking and pipelines, that Albertans are generally good people, generally ethical people, and if there's a problem, we'll try and fix it. But I believe that as a community and as an industry, we are ethical people. And I think you believe that too, because you see the oil and gas industry every day. It's your neighbor, it's your friend, maybe it's you. Let me put it all together for you. Accidental candidates who were so fringe no one thought they would be elected, including the NDP themselves. Some radicals, but not just in caucus, radicals in cabinet. But not just in cabinet, the senior executive, the chiefs of staff. 10 out of 12 are not even Albertans. They're just visiting. They have no long-term stake. I want to recruit 25,000 names a year for 4 years. What am I going to do with those names? I want them to share the information on the Rebel. I want them to share it directly with their friends so we don't have to go through the mainstream media. But let me say what I said before. I am not the answer. I will not be the answer. I can't be the answer for a variety of reasons. But the main one is that if this is going to work, it has to be real and it has to be led by real people. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to boost. I'm happy to give some strategic suggestions. I'm happy to compile the list. But it's got to be real, severely normal people in every town and every community who step up and take more and more of a role. Now, you've come here today. That's a statement right there. I think that people in the oil and gas industry have been used to saying, I'm not going to get involved. I'm too busy working. Someone else is taking care of the politics good enough. So I'll go and work my lucrative job. Unfortunately, you cannot be apolitical in Alberta anymore. So either you go quietly into the night or you say no. Now the good news is you've got 4 years to do something about it. And there's going to be plenty to do. And I thank you for coming tonight. I want you to consider being part of this army. I will not over-ask things of you. You can do as much or as little as you like. 25,000 a year, 100,000 to fight, and in 2019, we'll be free. We will do research, we will produce journalism, you will help us share it. We'll help organize events. And we do this because we want Alberta to return to its natural state as the freest, greatest province in Canada. And I think you share those thoughts. Thank you. I want you to join up now. Can you take out your smartphone? I know that's something people normally don't tell you to do at a meeting, but will you take out your phone now? And can you send me a text message? It's really easy to do. And you just type that phone number, 647-360-1663. And then you type the word Alberta as your message, okay? And you joined up. How easy was that? How easy was that? So you've joined the Rebel now. And what am I going to do with your name? I'm going to put you on my list of 100,000 soldiers that I'm building. If we don't do something, no, let me rephrase that. If you don't do something, who are you waiting for?